Hi. So today the topic of discussion is career. How do we choose career? How should we choose a career so that we do not go through all those stuff which is midlife crisis, nervous breakdown, which is actually becoming so common these days. Not a very good sign. It's a symptom of a very diseased society, diseased mind, which has to undergo such conditions. So it's important that we pay little attention to how we choose our career, how do we take decisions with respect to our career, how do we decide our career. Unfortunately, the way it happens is we are not that aware from the beginning. Probably our education system also doesn't support that kind of awareness. We are exposed to so many subjects, and we study all of those, and then a moment comes wherein we have to choose between science, arts, commerce, and then there is so much of pressure. There is peer pressure, there is pressure from parents, there is pressure from industry. We want to project ourselves to be a studious one, so there is entire loop that's functioning, and we end up choosing the wrong stream quite many times. And now it has become almost a trend that people keep reinventing their career. Yeah. So this becomes an important discussion, and one reason why I also thought it's important to pick up when I reflect to my time 25 years ago. Situation was not so different. The awareness was less. In fact, there was no internet, there was no social media, no such exposure. So the information also was very low. Even for the ones who would like to explore, we had no clue where to explore. But today, even with the advent of social media and internet and all that, that exploration is still missing. So we are going to look little deeply into this topic of decision regarding career. My name is Richa, and I welcome you all to conscious decision making, because, as I always say, decision changes destiny. Yeah, so let's get into the topic. So, when we look at decision making, what are the things that matter? So, I'm going to talk about certain principles that must be kept in mind while choosing a career, while deciding about a career. I'm going to talk about some formulas which I have devised based on my own experience, and all that I have tried to research upon the topic the way I have understood it. And then we will come to some finalizing of the stuff. So let's begin with understanding the principles. So as I say, there are five principles involved when it's a matter of career decision. So what they are? The first principle is to understand the difference between job and career. So what do you think is a job and what is a career? What is the difference between that? I think this is not a very big thing these days. You go on internet, just type job versus career, and you will get plethora of differentiation, etc. But in just a layman's language, a job is something wherein you just work and get paid. Career is something for your life. So career is of course more aligned to what you enjoy doing. Job is something that you just do in order to get some money, uh, take care of your everyday requirements, financial requirements. But career is where you look forward to grow. Career is where you hone your skills. Career is where you you do not mind giving your life to it. So that's the real definition of it. Any other definition, if you're hooked to, I would like you to reflect on it. Now let's look at the second principle, which I call as, can career change? Of course. Uh, Even when it is about what I like doing and I have got into doing that, even then you will realize that as you evolve, as a person, when you grow, when you get more mature, you will possibly see more career lines opening up for you, and you will possibly see that you want to make the movement. And so Career can change. Do not be scared of the idea. We do not get married to a career. When the marriages fail and change and all that happens, career is a much smaller thing in front of that, if I have to compare it like that. Although they both have definitely their own importance. But the point I'm trying to make is, don't get into this notion, don't get into this notion that career cannot change. Even career can change, because it is something that is associated with how you are growing as a person. And if career is not changing, really good chances that as a person you are not growing. So you might would like to take a look at that and address that. The third principle that I have is, one must choose the career consciously. What do I really mean by saying consciously choosing a career? You see, in anything or everything, if at all you're choosing by the concept of what is the need of the hour, what is making its mark in the industry, what is getting paid better, where will I get a secured job, where is the chances of getting a job is high. If these are the parameters based on which you are choosing, then you are bound to go haywire. So it must be a conscious choice. You must evaluate the possible options. Now, it might happen that you get your options delayed. It doesn't come to you so early, so soon. Maybe you have done your 12th and you are still not, you still are looking forward to that which resonates with you, with your being. A good idea would be, maybe you take a job, a temporary thing, but keep looking. Don't settle. Don't settle is the mantra. Don't just settle. Because we feel that if I have invested 5 years of mine in certain career, now if I start, or if I make a restart, a fresh start, I am like a fresher. My experience is counted as zero. But only if you would have been financially wise in those 5 years and would have saved some good amount, then while making this shift, making this transition to something that you resonate with more, it will not be a painful experience for you, but a very interesting experience. The fourth principle is, no overnight success is possible. So please beware, Rome was not built in a day. Same happens with your career. You start small, slowly, gradually you build on it, because every time you're learning more, you're discovering more, you're inventing more, you are evolving with respect to your career. So overnight success, and especially today's Hindi cinema, today's media, the kind of glamour that they show, we really feel that overnight success is possible. We get really impatient, very impatient. People hopping from this to that just for the heck of that. I know of certain cases wherein people left UPSC because they wanted instant success. So they went to media. If you want to go to media, go because that is something that resonates with you. Not because the glamour attracts, but because you have something of value to give in there. Without value, anywhere you would be, it will be a total mess. So keep that in mind. Overnight success is sounds good, but it's not really a reality. And the fifth principle that I would love to talk about is luck versus skills. Luck can favor you sometime. You might prove to be lucky sometimes, but that's only sometimes. As they say, luck happens when opportunity meets preparation. How you have prepared yourself. When the right time comes, when the opportunity knocks, only if you are prepared enough, you will be able to take out the right benefit. Otherwise, the opportunity will come, you will not be able to showcase your talent, your skill, you will not be able to add value, the opportunity will just go to somebody else. So, your preparation in terms of your skill, movement towards a continuous movement towards that, is very, very important when you look forward to career. So it's a good idea to figure out what are various skills that's required, what are various skills that can help you, and start working on that constantly. These are the principles, and let's look at the formula for success. The first one is natural talent. Now, what do I really mean by natural talent? Each one of us has got some inherent talent. Now, the challenge is we don't even explore that. There are people, for example, you know that musicians, you know that dancers, you know that painters, they had certain inherent capabilities in them. But so had scientists, so had mathematicians, so had teachers, so had writers, so had people who get into maybe even programming. There is something which is a natural talent in us. Try to recognize what is your natural talent and try to create your career around that. Once you have found your natural talent, work on that skills. Because even if you have that talent and you do not work on the necessary skills to put that talent into application, you again the same thing might prove to be lucky in short run, but it's not a long term formula. The second formula for decision making in career is honing your skills. I don't think this requires much of explanation. We all know this a lot, but to still reiterate, there are two types of skills. There are hard skills or the technical skills, which are important to perform that job. So, for example, if you are a software engineer, you should know coding. That's a technical skill. You must know certain language. That's a technical skill. If you are into building a bridge, you must understand the language of civil engineering. That's a technical skill. You must understand the metals and all those things out of which the bridge is made, etc. If you are a teacher, you must know not only how to prepare your subject, etc., but also how to use the teaching methodologies and the various mediums available. So hone your hard skills. And the second part, which is almost common for every kind of career, and that's soft skills. Soft skills are the one which are inherent in your behavior. So how do I communicate? And communication does not mean English. Now this is a huge misconception. Communication means, am I able to put forth my idea in a way that the other person understands it exactly in the same way, so there is minimum loss of message? Am I and the person who is listening to me both in the same page? If that is happening, and am I able to listen to the person in the same way? If that is happening, then communication is good. So communication is one skill that makes huge difference. The second skill, which mostly is needed, is how do you work in teams. Unless you are in a kind of job profile wherein you have to really work solo. In fact, to begin with, whenever you get into any kind of role, you first work based on your individual capacity. But as you grow, the teamwork starts to play even more important role. May it be sales, may it be operations, may it be marketing, wherever. It always begins mostly like that. But then teamwork is only possible if you have collaborative mindset. If you are so competitive within, and this is a huge problem, and I'll discuss all this at greater length in another video of mine. But we are so competitive within, and this entire process of growing up and the education, it has made us so competitive that everywhere we are scared of competition. We can't think of coming together with people. We can't think of supporting each other. We don't think of synergies. So collaboration is a big challenge. So how you are working in team is another soft skills or behavioral traits that is very, very important. The third skill that mostly is looked forward to is how you manage conflicts and how you negotiate. So negotiation is not only for salespeople, it's equally applicable in operations. It's equally applicable in human resources. Every time you are talking to somebody, there is some kind of deal going on, there is negotiation. Negotiation does not mean there has to be exchange in financial terms, in monetary terms. Every other time when you are agreeing to certain things and you are disagreeing to certain things, negotiation is on. So this is another skill that is given much importance these days. The third skill is creative thinking, or the fourth skill, that is creative thinking. How creatively are you able to think? Which means, can you move out of your structured thought process and be attentive and allow ideas to come in? So, creative skills, creativity, lateral thinking, these are really being asked for and these are really being respected a lot these days. So, we have relevant skills, both hard skills and soft skills. The third formula for career decision, which I actually call a sutra, and it's a very, very important sutra. In fact, I should have kept it number one. But, anyways, this sutra is, if you are not paid for 6 months or so, for example, can you still keep working? Because you are so passionate about the work, because you feel so aligned towards that work. Can you still keep working? If the answer is yes, you have found your career. If the answer is no, it is going to bother you a lot. Not just because parents are asking, society is asking, friends are asking, but because deep within you are not convinced. Then there is a problem. Keep looking for some work wherein you can give yourself 100%. The fourth very important aspect is handling burden of expectations. So, are you choosing your career based on the expectation that people have? Or is your career reflection of who you are? What your career is, career decision based on? If you are discharging burdens, and burden mostly is of parents, wherein a lot of parents feel, I'm investing for the child and so the child must produce result, etc., etc. If those things are happening, then you will have a very, very tough life, a life full of stress, a life full of misery and suffering, which I definitely do not wish you to experience. But if you want to experience bliss in your work, joy in your work, creativity in your work, it's important that your decision is not coming because of burden of expectation. Many times I see that, especially in the early age, people tend to take up career because they have to please their girlfriends and boyfriends. Come on, please never do all those such things. They are really stupid. And the fifth very, very important formula for success is, do not pick up a career based on which sector is performing well. This is a very important understanding. Wherever you are, wherever you are, if you are good at your work, you will shine. Irrespective of the sector, irrespective of the slump, irrespective of challenging times, irrespective of recession. Even in recession, there are jobs. But right people is a challenge. Organizations do not hire because they do not find enough qualified people. That's a problem. You be the one that organization can't think of doing without. So do not pick up a career based on the influences that this sector is doing well and that sector is doing well. Not at all. So if you keep these things in mind, and if you are able to then look forward to, I'm sure and I can promise, you will figure out a career which you resonate with, which you would love uh, going to. Mondays will not be bloody Monday, Khuni Monday, uh, wherein you will keep looking forward to. When you get up in the morning, you have a day ahead to add value, to express yourself. And that's a wonderful way of living. Please never undermine the importance of career because of almost 18 waking hours that we have, or 16 waking hours that we have, 10 to 12 hours every day we give to our career. That's a huge percentage, almost 70%. And if that 70% is miserable, you definitely will have a miserable life. You shouldn't expect a bribe which comes on 30th of the month to keep going on in your work. Your work should be the driving force. And trust me, If the quality that you're producing is amazing, which happens when you resonate with your work, when you are aligned with your work, you get really paid well. Payment is Money is not a problem for the person who knows how to add value. Money is a problem for the person who is only thinking of money, 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 and not of value, value, value. So that's an important aspect to keep in mind. If all that I have said, it makes sense to you, and if you have got certain takeaways, please share in the comment section. I love to read that. I personally acknowledge, and if you have any challenges, more questions, more things that you would like to ask, I will surely do that. But do share your takeaways in the comment box. Like, subscribe this video so that you get notified. And I'm posting at least 2 videos every week. Currently, I also have an gift for you running, which is a free one-to-one session. The details are in the comment section, so please go through it. And if you really wish to, you are keen, you can book your appointment. This much for now. Looking forward to hear from you, to know what career and how you are choosing, on what basis have you been choosing, and are you looking forward to now figure out something based on all that we have discussed. This is Richa. Thank you so much. Take care.